And welcome, my Dill Nation, to another to another edition of DylanLasagna Live. We are on episode 66. We are 3 episodes away from the magic number of that special number. But as I was hopping on here, I just got home, hastily trying to get this thing started. I put on my usual favorite mix of, my outro artist, Joachim Karud. His mix, it's I initially want to have outro music that's won't get me in trouble with copyright, but this Joachim Karud guy, when I see some of his songs, listen to some of his songs, it's not so bad. It's not that bad. It's it gets you warmed up. It gets you hyped for the show, to the one we're gonna have today. And with that, I welcome you all. I'm bitching out my words right now. I welcome you all to this fine Friday evening for some of you, and this fine late afternoon here on the West Coast. And welcome to another edition of DylanLasagna Live. And if you see in the chat, even though I'm the only one that commented, we had to start the show late because I thought I was out of the house for a good 5 hours, and I thought I was gonna be home by showtime, but I had to do some very last minute errands that was rammed up my butt because tomorrow I'm taking a little road trip out of the house because I certainly need it, and I had to get some snacks. But yeah, that happened, and I had to hastily not only put out this message that we're going to be starting late, but also get my ass back in the house, put all the crap that away, clean everything up, get my setup ready, and make sure my notes are all ready to go. Thankfully, I had my notes ready yesterday, and make sure everything's all set up here with the layout, the lighting, all that stuff. And I don't like it, I really don't like being late. It sucks. It really does suck. And it sucks for you guys. It sucks for me. And it's a really sucky situation when I'm late. But nonetheless, we're here. We are here. And I know we're all still stuck in quarantine, and clearly it's not getting better from the looks of it. And all we can ask for is a vaccine to COVID, but it's going to be a long while that we're going to get it. But anyway, I am your host, as always, DylanLasagna. Make sure you follow me on any of the social media platforms if you like. And if you're not already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. We do all kinds of a variety content here on the channel. But, I honestly focus more on the wrestling and gaming side of reactions, discussions, streaming, and all that good stuff as of late. And make sure you have the notification bell so you'll be notified every time that I am live, and as well as when a video goes up, because that definitely helps my videos and streams get recommended, as well as giving the video and stream a thumbs up. And as you noticed, for whether you're an old or newer subscriber, I made some changes to the channel over the last couple of days, and I think the last week. I privated some of the videos that either underperformed or just I kind of don't want this on my channel anymore. So it's just like, all right. So yeah, all the like videos that I thought were that have been underperforming actually. I ran a little test, took it down, and we'll see where it goes from there if anything happens. But anyway, that's all. That's all for now. That's all the middle notes for now. I don't have a random tidbit for you this week. As you know, with COVID-19, there really isn't much to discuss because everything's on hold. Everything's in like this weird delay, and it's just how how everything is right now in general. But anyway, let's get into our main topics today. Let's get into some of the main topics that we got for you today. One of the first things I wanted to talk about for you today is pro wrestling. I know we're gonna get to the bigger, much larger meat of the discussion today, which is the Nintendo Direct, which hasn't been announced yet, by the way. But I want to first talk about some wrestling first. And I feel like I have to talk about this now because it's just like outside of the covering, like the rumors, speculation, and anything that I find interesting from the dirt sheets. I haven't really watched wrestling in like a month. And I'm serious. Like full on like wrestling in a month. I haven't even watched like every time I see a highlight on Twitter, I scroll past it. And this is coming from a fan that just has watched wrestling since he was a third grader in 2006. And I honestly don't know what it is. Like, I don't know how I've been able to outgrow not being able to watch wrestling. Like, how I've been able to not watch wrestling for, like, almost a full month. I don't know. When was, I think the last time I watched wrestling was Backlash, the Backlash pay-per-view. And I don't know. Ever since the whole pandemic started, it was like slowly but surely. Everything I loved about pro wrestling, it's dwindled. It's seriously dwindled. It's like everything I liked about the WWE, there's nothing there. And while AEW is doing a lot better, it's just like there's still not enough for me to watch it on a weekly basis, or nothing for me to commit to it weekly. But more specifically on WWE, I have a lot of reason to not watch it at all. Not even NXT. There's no crowds, and I don't count the trainees as fans. And outside of what do we have that's interesting on Monday and Friday nights? We've got Bayley and Sasha Banks, who I'll admit, the golden role models have honestly stepped up during this pandemic. They honestly have. Bayley still doesn't have like the most interesting gimmick in the world, but I'll admit they're the only interesting thing about the women's division during this pandemic. Drew McIntyre, yes, it does suck that he won the WWE Championship at a pretty bad time, and WWE is like literally booking opponents, like one-off opponents for him, and not giving him a long-term feud to let him succeed. And then you got the Rey Mysterio Seth Rollins feud. Unfortunately, they're going to do this eye for eye match apparently, which is pretty bad. Which I don't know. I'm probably not going to watch it. And then you got Randy Orton, who is now on this like the last time I remember was the night after Raw when he was on this Legend Killer. He was kind of like bringing back the Legend Killer, so that's pretty good. Except now he's in the feud, the Big Show. Yeah, I don't know. But outside of those things, like, I don't really have anything to look forward to with the WWE. I mean, there are like the matches that end in DQs. Then you got the repeat matches, and then you got singles matches that turn to tag team matches, and then you got segments that involve bowling, axe throwing, and triathlon segments, all from one feud. And you know which feud it is. And then the icing on the cake, a karaoke contest. A karaoke contest that one female wrestler actually had to apologize for. I feel bad for Naomi, man. Had to suffer from that karaoke contest. But let's not forget the fact of how badly WWE has handled the coronavirus pandemic in general. The lack of not allowing the talent to wear masks around ringside until they were forced their hand. Not properly testing their talent, which resulted in almost a mass. Like, how many do we have now? I think almost 30, 40. I don't know the exact numbers. Like, it was like the latest was 30 like employees testing positive for COVID. So that's not good. And it's not a good situation in WWE. Not a good situation. So I don't know. Somehow, some way, all I could say, like, what's the point of this? Like, really, what is the point of this, like, topic right here? Well, the point is it's simple. I was able to take a break from wrestling. I was able to, after Backlash, I just thought to myself, why am I watching this? And it's, like, so easy for me to say that. I've been, like, watching wrestling for 13 years. I've been talking about wrestling on this channel for, like, a good 5 years. Like, on and off again. Like, on and off, I've been talking about wrestling. And then it's, like, 2020 is literally the worst year for, like, wrestling, regardless of how good, like, and how bad WWE is and how good AEW is doing. It's like, if you don't have a crowd, then it's gonna suck, like, regardless. I think that's the biggest, like, drop in quality that you're gonna have. No crowds, like, to feed off of. So I'm fortunate to have taken a break, but I do feel, like, really bad for the podcasters, the wrestling sites, the YouTubers that do rely on, that do this for a living. They have to watch through, like, the quality of Raw and SmackDown each and every week, so they can review it for their listeners, their viewers, their readers, and whatsoever. I mean, all I could say is it's like there's honestly no excuse to say if you don't like it, don't watch it, because that's not valid. That's not a valid excuse at all. It's like, there are people that have to do this, like, for a living. But all I could say is, like, I'm just lucky I'm just, like, I just wanted to, like, step away from it a bit. I just wanted to step away. Even if I was covering this, I'm just like, I gotta step away. I have to step away from this terrible shit show that wrestling is enduring right now. But what have I been doing what have I been watching during this little, like, break from wrestling? Just a couple movies. I've been catching up on like early seasons of South Park, and then I watched like the Man versus Food with Adam Richmond, like the 3 seasons he was in it. You saw my tweet about how I didn't watch SmackDown and I instead watched Man versus Food because it's true. It's like I'd rather watch Man versus Food, yeah, like literally watching food over what we actually saw on SmackDown last week. So, yeah. And I don't know how it's gonna get, how wrestling's gonna get any better under the leadership of Pritchard and McMahon. And I know AEW has some nice like storylines going for it, but I don't see like who I can get invested to, like to have me watch on consistently. It's like the thing with AEW, it's like I want to be invested, I want to be committed to Dynamite consistently. The problem is, it's like outside of who they have, Britt Baker's one has grown into her own, but the problem is she's injured. Who else do they have? They also have. Oh, John Moxley. I forgot. John Moxley, MJF, Cody Rhodes. Not that many like consistent wrestlers. Oh yeah, Chris Jericho. I forgot about them. Chris Jericho, and that's about it. That is about it. Outside of those 5 I just mentioned, I don't see any reason to tune into Dynamite every single week, like on a consistent basis. There's literally nothing for me. But yeah, you know what? So you know what? I just decided I need to take a break. I need to take a break from all the wrestling going on right now. So that's where I'm at with my wrestling fandom. And you know what? I can't. It's like I maybe, who knows? Maybe I completely outgrow wrestling. Maybe hopefully I don't, because I still love wrestling like to the core. But it's just like it's just unbearable to watch during this pandemic. It's like I can't take it. I really can't. Let's go to the live chat because someone has said hi. Only Maitland. How is it going? I am doing okay. I am doing all right on this fine Friday. How are you doing today? But yeah, how are you doing today? Like, what have you got on your mind? All right, let's go into our next topic here. There was some interesting development regarding WrestleMania 37. We already know what happened with WrestleMania 36 because of COVID-19. But in regards to WrestleMania 37, that seems like it's already going to be impacted by COVID-19. Courtesy of WrestleVotes on Twitter on Wednesday, he provided another update regarding the status of WrestleMania 37, which is going to be held in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Rams and Chargers new stadium, SoFi Stadium. Back in April, they previously tweeted WWE was researching an alternate site for Mania 37 if either the state of California wouldn't be allowed to hold mass gatherings, or SoFi Stadium, the host, wasn't completed on time. If you look at but if you look at SoFi Stadium, let me see if I can pull up a picture right here. And then only Maitland said, "I'm doing good, thanks, man. I was surfing Twitter and I saw your tweet saying that you were going live, so I decided to check you out." Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let me find their Twitter. Oh, here we go. I don't need a recap video. Let me. Damn it. Yeah, I found a nice little video on YouTube. It's Orange Man. All right, there we go. All right, we got a nice update on how the stadium is doing, and so far, we got that going on. It's looking good. It's so far looking good. Let me take you at a different point of the video. But pretty much they got most of the construction complete. They put up the video board, and then they had the turf completed. Now it's just a matter of finishing the outside, like the parking lot and the rest of the exterior. So that's what's going on with SoFi Stadium, but it's looking pretty good. Put it on the wrong screen here. Sorry about that. But it's looking pretty good. The stadium's looking pretty good. It still kind of looks odd to me. Honestly, it looks like an arena, but it looks like an indoor arena shaped in the size of a stadium. But anyway, but that's how SoFi Stadium is doing. So it's mostly done. Hopefully, when the Rams and Chargers play, if there's an NFL season, we have a better look at how the stadium looks. I know the Rams have a Sunday night game in the first week of the season, so we should have a better look at what that stadium will look like. So for all you wrestling fans out there that are interested in going to Mania 37, if it's still in Los Angeles, you should, even if you're not a football fan, you should definitely check out the Rams' first game in that stadium, on TV. But back to this. So we got another update on Wednesday regarding what's going on with WrestleMania in Los Angeles next year, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good, and this is what WrestleVote said, and I quote, WWE is still very much planning to run the event as scheduled. However, they don't want this determination looming. They heard internally WWE would like a decision by mid-December from the state of California on large-scale gatherings. And then they said, it's probably not looking good. So from the looks of it, given how California is suddenly doing worse during this COVID crisis, cases are going back up. Again, just because cases are going back up doesn't mean it always translates to deaths. And considering how strict the state has been handling this pandemic, I honestly gotta say it's gonna be very hard. It's still a long time. It's still a long time. But if this thing doesn't get, if the pandemic doesn't get under control here in this state, it's gonna be very hard to convince Gavin Newsom to reopen, to have WrestleMania in this state. It's gonna suck, but you're gonna have to, WWE's gonna have to really pitch to Gavin Newsom to keep WrestleMania in Los Angeles, because if I remember correctly, Los Angeles closed again. They closed the restaurants, they closed the gyms, they closed the bars, they closed other businesses. So the outlook is already not looking good 5 months or 4 months for 5 months ahead. We will be Ollie will be discussing the direct last, so we'll be discussing that next. So stay tuned for that. So now comes the question, if we get to December and Gavin Newsom says, no, you can't have WrestleMania here, there's no mass gatherings here. Now comes the question, where is WrestleMania going to be? Where is it going to be? Well, I can tell you where it's not going to be, and that's here in the San Francisco Bay Area, because if Gavin Newsom says no to mass gatherings, then it probably also means that we can't have a Mania here in the Bay Area, which would also suck for us. And it's already bad enough that football fans are going to have an empty-ass Levi Stadium this upcoming season. It's probably also all not going to be in places like New York, Philadelphia, probably Denver. But those are just examples of states that are probably not gonna allow mass gatherings. By the point where WWE needs to make a decision on WrestleMania next year, but they could bring it back. As much as fans are not going to be happy with it, that have already booked their flight to Los Angeles, they could bring it back to Tampa, where it was supposed to have WrestleMania this year. I mean, there was a reason why Ron DeSantis is the proud mayor, or the proud governor of the highest state with the highest COVID cases. But it doesn't matter to him because he's more chill with COVID, and he still wants to have a WrestleMania in the state, according to his attitude towards COVID. But anyway, in all seriousness, if WWE was looking at an alternate site for WrestleMania, I mean, I wouldn't be too mad if they took it out of Los Angeles, because I kind of considered going down to Southern California for next year's WrestleMania. But I mean, I wouldn't be too mad if they brought it back to Tampa. Because Tampa did lose a WrestleMania this year, and they're kind of owed. They could have gotten it. They were supposed to get it the following year, after next year. But I mean, if Los Angeles doesn't get it next year, then they could push it for Tampa next year. But just looking at the outlook now, unless we get not a full-on vaccine for COVID, at least a doable one, then I don't see WrestleMania happening in Los Angeles. It's again, you're gonna WWE is gonna have to really convince Gavin Newsom to ease up on the restrictions for mass gatherings. And if you've seen Gavin Newsom in his approach to COVID, he's hell bent. He's taking it slow and steady. He's taking baby steps, and if something goes wrong, well, he's got to take a step backward, which is unfortunate. But it's just the game he plays. But that's that. All right. So that's the latest on WrestleMania 37. So we'll find out by December if it's going to be moved out of LA. And if it is moved out of LA, it's going to suck, but there'll be an opportunity. Hopefully there'll be an opportunity to have it back in LA in 2022. I mean, if it is in 2022, think about it this way. I think the Super Bowl is going to be in LA. Yeah, that year in 2022 at that stadium. If you also have WrestleMania in the following month, that's good for WWE, because you can project to, like, let's say you have the Super Bowl first, they get an attendance, like a good attendance record. They can set the attendance record, and then you have WrestleMania the following month. Then WWE has a reason to host it to break the attendance record. It's kind of a win-win, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in December. See what happens. All right. As for our final topic for today, let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. Apparently, there's supposed to be some sort of Nintendo Direct happening on Monday, as I discussed on last week's show. But if there was going to be one on Monday, it should have been announced by now. But I'm looking on Twitter, and I don't see anything. I don't see any Nintendo Direct. I don't see any Nintendo Direct announced for Monday. What happened, Kelios? And is that the name, Kelios? Yeah. What happened, Mr. Kelios? There's nothing. I don't see anything. Even Ollie Maitland said in the chat, he said he's starting to think that the rumor about the July 20th Nintendo Direct was false. I doubt they would announce the Direct during the weekend, but you never know. Well, we're going to get into that right now. So it's been, as I have repeatedly said over and over again, it's been over 300 days since the last Nintendo Direct. And I'm not talking about the mini Nintendo Direct that we had in March, because that does not count. I'm talking about the full mainline general Nintendo Direct that usually goes way past 30 minutes. That's full of first and third party, like shebangs, like big, full, fat reveals. Not games we already knew about that you usually see in a Direct Mini. But we haven't seen that in over 300 days. And now that Paper Mario is out to the public, and there's no general Nintendo Direct announced by this point, we don't have any Switch games dated for the rest of 2020. Nothing. It's like a desert, like, you know, that like plant desert thing that you usually see in like a showdown, like, you know, those Western showdowns. I don't know what you call it, but it's like it's like literally rolls down the sideways. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, but anyway, you get the point. It's empty. The lineup is practically empty now that Paper Mario is released. And some of you may be thinking, oh, why do we need to worry about a Nintendo Direct? Why do we need a general Nintendo Direct? Why do we even need to know about the rest of the 2020 lineup when clearly there's so many games to play on the Nintendo Switch? Well, first of all, you have to think of it. You can't just simply think of it as like, oh, I can just go buy this X game and play it until I finish it, and then when I'm done with it, go pick up Y game. It's not that simple. Secondly, you also can't think that we are in a global pandemic. I mean, yes, it sucks that we're in a global pandemic, and it's hurting the development of not just Nintendo, but other video game companies and developers. But those same video game companies and developers are still making things happening. I keep botching the word. Are still making things happen. They're still making the big splash. They're making the big splash. And you know who's making those big splashes? Sony, Microsoft. They've got 2 new consoles that are coming in the holiday. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. And what does Nintendo have? They got the Switch, but what do they have left? I'm searching. You would figure that Nintendo would announce like something at this point. No, I don't see anything. All Nintendo had is Paper Mario, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and Clubhouse Games, and I think that's it. That's all the games they had this year. And then you got games like Doom Eternal, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel's Avengers, Cyberpunk 2077. What other good games are there that are supposed to come out this year or have already come out? Fill me in, chat. Fill me in. Like non-Nintendo games that have come out this year, or are coming out in this coming year that are non-Nintendo. But you get the point. Like Nintendo has only announced 4 games, and there's already been a buttload of non-Nintendo games that have already come out. And looking at it so far, Last of Us 2 is the game that everyone's talking about, whether it's game of the year or it's the most controversial game ever. So, if Nintendo wants to stay quiet, that's their call. All right. But at the same time, you're going to face consumer and investor backlash. It's like, if you want to stay on the good side of the consumer, aka the fans and the investors, they need to start saying shit. They need to start laying the goods for the rest of the year. Otherwise, they're going to start losing the dough. They're going to start losing the ducats. So, we kind of need the general Nintendo Direct as soon as possible. I mean, can they really wait until the 1 year anniversary of the last general mainline Direct, which was on September 4th, 2019? Can they really wait that long? Let me know, chat. Should they wait that long? I don't even know. Oh yeah, I forgot about Halo Infinite, but I don't know. Will it be ready will it be ready in time? Oh yeah, there was one more game. Crash 4. Even that is outdoing like whatever Switch has to offer. But anyway, so Nintendo doesn't have a Direct yet, and there's been, as I said last week, there's been this speculation, this rumor mill, like going on for 2 weeks now, that there's going to be a Direct on July 20th by the name of Kelios. I mentioned last week that he tweeted a GIF of, I think it was one of the Nintendo Direct Japanese presenters doing the usual Nintendo Switch snap, and then he's implying that a Direct was coming. Well, and then he said on Reset Era, and then that a Direct was going to be happening on July 20th, sorry. And, well, normally, if it was going to happen on Monday, it would normally be announced today, and I doubt it'd be the weekend, and, well, here we are. Nothing is happening. And everything kind of lined up. I don't believe in leaks and rumors and all that, but everything kind of lined up. You had all the Mario stuff happening. Some people point to some F-Zero stuff. I didn't pay attention to that one, but I was more focused on the Mario 35th anniversary stuff. So he was pointing towards that. But at this point, it looks like Kelios is a liar. He's a faker. And he said here 3 hours ago, he said here on Twitter, please guys, I know you're all impatient for the Direct, but wait Monday. It's up to Nintendo to announce it or not. No, don't ask if it'll be general/mini, etc. We can't know at this moment. If they announce it, equals general. Otherwise, mini. So we're kind of in a holding pattern here. So if Nintendo announces it, it's a general, which we really need. If it's a mini, then we're screwed. Because we're screwed. Because a mini kind of restricts what Nintendo can do. Like, what Nintendo can do. Because we need to know what's coming out for the rest of the year. Both, and a general Direct kind of offers that balance of, oh, here's what's coming this year, but from us, but here's what's coming from third parties this year as well. So we kind of need that general Nintendo Direct, like the big fat general Nintendo Direct. But if they have titles releasing in the holiday or 2021, could they get away with that? That's what I'm saying. It's like they could that's why they kind of need that general mainline Direct, so they can reveal stuff for the holiday and early 2021. And it's like minis, like Nintendo Direct minis, are kind of like either recaps of what it's already been released or what we already know about, or like games that are going to be revealed for, like, let's say the next 4 months, the next 2-4 months. And I feel like that's not ample amount of time. People need to know, need to have some sort of interest of something they want. Sorry, let me rephrase that. There has to be something for everybody in a general mainline Direct. I feel like the last Nintendo Direct Mini, didn't really do that. They had the Animal Crossing update. They had the ARMS character reveal. I mean, we didn't know it was Min, but we knew ARMS was going to be in Smash. I forgot what else they had. Frick. Oh, they didn't have the Paper Mario reveal, but see? It's like, what was memorable about the general Nintendo Direct? I mean, the Direct Mini. It's like, there was nothing memorable about it that I can't remember. But you guys get the point. It's like, we could use like an E3 sized Nintendo Direct by this time now. So, now that we talked about why we need a Nintendo Direct, let's talk about some of my predictions of what I think we'll see in this so-called, whenever it happens, Nintendo Direct. And I'm not talking about a mini. I'm talking about a full fat E3 size Nintendo Direct. So, again, whenever it happens, it could happen on Monday, when it could be announced at some point, today. It could by the end of today, it could be announced over the weekend, but I doubt it. It could be shadow dropped on Monday as a mini, which a lot of us will probably be unhappy with. It could be a Direct later, this month, later, next week, or at the end of July, or sometime in August, or maybe even on the 1 year anniversary of the last general Nintendo Direct. So, let's get to the first prediction. As I said earlier, the biggest hint of the mainline Nintendo Direct was the Mario remasters to commemorate the 35th anniversary of the Plumber. These remasters include Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, and a port of 3D World. Now, these rumors of Mario remasters have been going on for a while, and let me just say this real quick. It kind of sucks that Super Mario Galaxy 2 is not on this rumor mill, because I honestly preferred Galaxy 2 over 1, and I really hope Galaxy 2 is also in this like collection type, because I really liked that game. I really liked it over 1. Super Mario Galaxy 1. And then other indications of like this direct, like the Super Mario remasters being in a direct, where the Mario Lego set, the Monopoly, and the Jenga sets that were revealed on Wednesday, on Twitter. So it would make the most sense to have these games remastered, and because a lot of people didn't get to experience Mario 64, Sunshine, and especially 3D World. But then with that comes some questions on how it would be done. It's like, are they just gonna up-res it, or is it gonna be like a complete remake of the game? Are any of them gonna have like new additions, like new levels? How, and like in Mario Galaxy, how is the how, like when you played Mario Galaxy, you used like the Wii remote to like grab like star bits. How is that gonna work with the Switch? And are these games going to be in a collection? Or are they going to be sold separately? How are they going to price it? I hope it's not $60 each. I mean, it'd be fair if it was like three games in one. I mean, if it was Mario Galaxy 2 and in there as well, like 4 games in one for $60 or $70, then perfect sense. But if it's like one game each for $60, then hard pass. But anyway, price point is a question mark as well. Then there's some other people like Arlo who are like just trolling that these games could end up as part of the Nintendo Switch Online service. And let me tell you something. If Nintendo did that, if Nintendo did reveal these games, but you have to purchase them, like you have to purchase the Nintendo Switch Online service to access 64 Sunshine Galaxy to play them, I would never forgive them. I would honestly I would honestly be like, you know what? Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm done with the Switch. It's like I would never forgive them, because it's like it's already bad enough that they're like putting out a shitty online service, but having them lock 3 of their best games, like their all-time best games in 64 Sunshine and Galaxy, behind a crappy online service. It's as bad as when I rant, like, you know how I rant. If you watched my channel, I ranted on how 2K locked Ronda Rousey, like UFC and WWE like megastar Ronda Rousey, behind a paywall when she was on the roster for like 6 damn months. And she like, that was like ample amount of time for 2K to put her in the base game. But you know what? Like, they were like, fuck it, let's lock Ronda Rousey behind the paywall, or like a pre-order wall, and force people to like pre-order the game. And I was like so pissed off. I was like so pissed off, like, because the people shouldn't be forced to endure that crap. And it's like, if Nintendo did this, if Nintendo did that similar thing, it's like essentially forcing people to buy the crappy service, this crappy online service. And you know what happens when Nintendo or people can't afford the 20 simple dollars? Poof, so goes the remasters. You can't it's like you don't own the remasters. It's like behind the online service. And it's a damn shame. But, I don't think Nintendo is greedy enough to do, like, I don't think Nintendo is greedy to do that. I hope not. I really hope not, because like I know they're just like remakes, remasters of like some of the classic Mario games, but you're commemorating like your mascot right here. And do you really think it's advisable to lock 3 of your best games behind an online service? I personally don't think so. I think you'd actually get backlash from that. I really do. Be smart about it, Nintendo. Be smart about it. And then of course I got some other predictions besides the Mario remasters. I do think we need at some point we need to know the release date for Doom Eternal on Switch, because well, that we haven't heard jack shit about that game or that Switch port for Doom Eternal. And I pre-ordered the game like long before before it was supposed to come out, and I haven't heard anything. It's like we haven't heard anything about when it's going to be released. We possibly could get a release window for Lego Star Wars, the new Lego Star Wars game. That's one of those games I'm excited for, but we kind of need like a pinpoint accurate date for that game now. I could foresee like a teaser for the next DLC, like Challenger Pack for Smash Bros, like Challenger Pack 7. And I know people say it's too early to reveal the next character because we just got Min Min 2 weeks ago. But technically we knew about the ARMS character back in March. And that was like June, May, April, March. So that's like 4 months ago. So we knew about this ARMS character 4 months ago, and Min Min was revealed 2 weeks ago. So even then, like technically, I do think it's time to reveal the next character. And Nintendo does have a track record of revealing fighters in like a short span of time. Like with Hero and Banjo back at E3, and when Banjo was released, they immediately revealed Terry Bogard in that September Direct. So, although it's not a guarantee that we're gonna get a Fighters Challenger Pack 7 reveal, I do think that normally it would be a smart option to, if given that the character is ready, that they should go ahead. Lax Fade, thank you for subscribing to the channel. What's going on? I see you're in the chat. What's going on, my dude? But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm probably gonna like hear the double notification. Probably not. I hope not. But anyway, so I think it would be a smart option for Nintendo if it's ready, if the character pack is ready, to give us a tease of the next fighter for Smash Bros. The next fighter pack for Smash Bros. Because normally when they do the Smash reveal during the Direct, it gives them the most attention. Whether that's Banjo good or Byleth bad. So yeah. No worries about the music. That's just my subscriber notif. But yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. But I know I have to retread my characters predictions because it's a given. It's a norm here. When we have to do predictions for both the Direct and for Smash Fighters Pass. Again, we have only 5 characters left. That means 5 chances for your favorite character to be in there. So already, let's get into it. So I do want to make this point. The Min Min reveal pretty much erased the rule of spirits can't be fighters. So I do think that gives Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 the opportunity, an increased opportunity, to be revealed. And if you recall from, I think it was the last Smash Direct back in November 2018, that Masahiro Sakurai wanted to add Rex into the base game, but he didn't get anything about the character until much late into the development, so it was too late for him. So he had to go with the Mii costume. So the same thing with the Arms character. It was too late for the Arms character, so they went with Springman as the assist trophy. But now that Min Min is in the game, but when they, I think Sakurai said this in a Famitsu column, but when they went with the, sorry, let me rephrase that. When Nintendo greenlit the second Fighters Pass, he wanted to put an Arms character in there. So now that we got Min Min, I do believe that this Fighters Pass is kind of his way to like make up for not being able to put in like the characters he wanted to put in, like Min Min and Rex and Pyra, or not like specifically Min Min, but the Arms character and Rex and Pyra. So I do believe that one of these characters, it's not gonna be Challenger Pack 7, but maybe one of the later ones. Rex and Pyra is probably gonna be a DLC character in Smash. Even if they're a spirit, it's like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But if it's not Rex and Pyra, like in Challenger Pack 7, I will say this: that whoever is revealed next, it can go a long way in dictating how Nintendo is gonna approach this pass. If they go with someone like Rex and Pyra, who is a Nintendo rep, then there's probably gonna be more first-party characters, or it could be all Nintendo characters. But if it's a third-party character, then it'll be split 2-4, like 2 third-party and 4 first-party, or it'll be like an even 50-50 balance. So we half and half. And when it comes to third-party, I always say Crash Bandicoot is my go-to character that deserves to be in Smash. He's like literally the last 90s rep that needs to be in there. It's like he's the character that was kind of like the console mascot that was polar opposites to Mario, Sonic, Banjo. So it's like he's kind of like the last breed of that needs to be in Smash. But then there's always kind of the downside of how he can't make it to Smash, and that comes down to Activision. You know how Activision's greedy and they're always looking for the monies. But they have to think of it this way. It's like Insane Trilogy is doing really well. It sold 10 million copies overall, and it's one of the top-selling titles on Switch, like for a third-party game. Nitro Fuel, while it doesn't have the top player base, it's a decent seller. It's a decent seller. And then on top of that, Activision has a new Crash game coming out on October 2nd. And Nintendo also has some Amiibo coming out on October 2nd. So, Activision, I know this was settled long beforehand. Activision could use this opportunity to market Crash, to get some more marketability, to get some more promotion for their marsupial, their resident Bandicoot, who's in the midst of a really big revival, and perhaps one of the best revivals to date. So, why the hell not give Crash some more marketability? I do think that Activision could make a viable deal with Nintendo for Crash to be in there. as long as it's not something like Cloud and Square Enix, like hopefully like Nintendo and Activision on friendly terms, then it should be okay. Hopefully. But outside of Crash, I personally don't see too many third-party candidates left. Yeah, there is Geno, like everyone like desperately wants, especially the hardcore Smash community. They can't let go of Geno, but considering that he's a Square rep, he's considering from Square, and we know the situation with Cloud, how he got absolutely nothing when it comes to music and spirits. I have high doubts, but we'll see what Sakurai does. And then we got Sora, but like with Cloud, like with Geno, not only are you dealing with Square Enix, you're also dealing with Disney. I also think Shantae kind of has a chance. I know it's like a indie like character, but I do think we need more female representation in this Fighter's Pass. We were off to a good start with Min Min. And although I'm not too familiar with Shantae, I did listen to like some of the soundtrack from I don't know what game it was, but the song was like the soundtrack was pretty solid, and I would be pretty down to listen to that in Smash Bros. And it would mark the first indie rep in the game, like a fully playable indie rep, not like a Mii costume or anything. And then after that, the list gets very, very small from there. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Which third party rep do you think? Which third party rep do you think could be in the Fighters Pass in the next? Who could fill the one? Let's say it's 3 and 3, or let's say it's 2 and 3. Who do you think fills up the last 5 slots in the Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC? Let me know. And then for my last set of predictions, I do think we're going to get some random ass Japanese eShop filler like we always do in the directs. Like it's either going to be some weeb stuff or like mobile like filler games. Honestly, there was this one random game I saw on the eShop and on Twitter, like on a random day. I forgot what it was called, but it looked like a horror game, but oh wait, I think it was called Don't Look Down or something, or what was it called? Don't Look. Hold on, what was it called? I think it was called Don't Look Down. Don't Look. What was it called? It was like a weird Switch game. It was like a weird Switch game where it looked like a horror game, but instead you're jacking it. You're jacking it. And it was eventually removed from the eShop, but I was like, how was the developer able to let it slide into the eShop? Like, what the fuck? Oh, man. All right, Ollie. Hopefully you can drop by again in another stream. So, it was good hanging out with you too, man. And then for my last set of predictions, I foresee another Animal Crossing update, and then we will probably get like a couple of third-party games in a sizzle reel, like Crisis Remastered, Apex Legends. Maybe we'll get a couple surprises. I'm still holding out hope for a GTA game or 3, but at this point, I don't know. I always say I want a GTA game on Switch, but I don't think Rockstar's interested, and I'm starting to lose hope. I really am. And then, I don't know, there's still a lot of Nintendo games stuck in development hell, like Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4. Those games were announced back in 2017, and we haven't heard shit since then. But we did hear something last year, and that was Breath of the Wild 2, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. Now, I don't know if they'll talk about it like at all this year, but I do think they need to talk about it. Like make a brief mention on how they're doing with the development. So maybe we might get something from the Breath of the Wild sequel. But those are just my thoughts. But yeah, those are my predictions for the upcoming Nintendo Direct, whenever it happens. Again, it could be on Monday, it could be a full-on Direct, or it could be a mini, and I'm hoping for a full-on Direct, like a mainline Direct, not the mini. It could be later next week, it could be at the end of July, it could be sometime in August, or it could even be on the 1-year anniversary of the last general Nintendo Direct. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But other than that, that's all I got for you on this edition of Dylan Lasagna Live. And we're going to close the book on episode number 66. What do you guys think about any of the topics that I said today? Let me know in the comments and down below, in the replay, in the chat. Let me know your final thoughts. Let me know your predictions of the Nintendo Direct whenever it is. Let me know what your thoughts are on WrestleMania, on Los Angeles possibly losing WrestleMania 37, on if you're still watching wrestling during this pandemic. Let me know in the thoughts below. Let me take one last look at the live chat. I know Ollie left, but I want to he left some predictions here that I want to point out. Let's see. I think I mentioned earlier how long Nintendo can wait, and then Ollie responded with, I don't think they can wait that long, given how that Xbox is hosting an event soon. Yeah, I think they're hosting something for the Series X next week, and so yeah, Nintendo can't wait that long. They have to reveal something next week, or soon. And Ollie, yeah, he's constantly keeping an eye on Twitter every hour on the dot. I think that's most of us checking Twitter for the Direct. And then last but not least, he gave his predictions for the Nintendo Direct. He's predicting the Mario remasters, the Legend of the Breath of the Wild sequel, Metroid 4 updates, Challenger Pack 7 for Smash, the F-Zero game, Lego Star Wars, Crowd Tundra, and maybe Mario Kart 9. Good predictions. I'll weigh in on your predictions here because I want to I either want to debunk it, I'm just kidding, or praise it a bit. I agree on the Mario remasters. The Breath of the Wild sequel update. It depends where they are in the development. I don't think we're gonna hear anything about Metroid Prime 4 at all. I do hope we hear something about the next fighter for Smash in this upcoming Direct. Who knows? About F-Zero, it's a wild card. And I'm also hoping for the Lego Star Wars. They need to talk about that. Crowd Tundra, all right. Mario Kart 9. If they're doing the Mario remasters, I don't think they need to do Mario Kart 9 this year. I don't think they need to do it. I mean, you already got 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, and 3D World. And if you spread that out through the course of, let's say, 2 months, it depends on what else they reveal. If the let's say 64 Sunshine, Galaxy 1, and if 2 is in there also, that's 4 games in one collection. If they're in all of one collection, that's released in, let's say, October or November or September, October, whatever, around September, October. And then 3D World, let's say it's in November, then realistically you don't necessarily need to have Mario Kart this year. You could probably wait till early next year to have Mario Kart 9 along with the Breath of the Wild sequel. So those would be your 2 big games. And other than that, I'm not really sure what else. But yeah. But good predictions though. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to work on a couple of videos. I had 2 videos in mind, like 2 actual edited videos. I wanted to re-review Crash Team Racing because it's been a year since I reviewed that game, and a lot has changed with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. And I plan on not reviewing every single aspect of the game like I did last last year, but I just want to review what has changed, what didn't, and give my final verdict, because I don't think the game is gonna get any more updates beyond I don't think the game has gotten any more updates since I think March, after the last Grand Prix ended. So I wanted to give my re-review, my final thoughts on the game overall, and then they released a new this really large track in Trials Rising. I'm not gonna do a stream on it, but I want to do a kind of a let's play, like a little gameplay video, showing that me playing the track, because it's called the Giga Track from Trials Evolution, which I never played before. And it's presumably the longest track ever in the history of the Trials series. So I might record a video on the Giga Track in Trials Rising, and we'll see. It depends on what else is going on in my life, because I've been kind of busy with intern work at the moment. But anyway, that's all I have going on behind the scenes, and as always, if there's we'll have another episode of the podcast next week, depending on the news, depending on the topics. But other than that, that's all I got for you right now. That's all I got. Make sure you press the like button so the stream gets recommended. And then, as always, if you're not already, what are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you like, you can follow me on my social media. I'm at DylanLasagna on Twitter, at Instagram, and I'm not on any other social medias. Sorry. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Snapchat. Sorry. And make sure here on YouTube you press the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a video or I'm live streaming. So make sure you do all that great stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm hungry. I'm going to grab a bite and probably pass out. I'm tired. And I don't know. Probably watch a movie as I pass out. But anyway, y'all, stay safe out there. Wear your mask. So we can get this pandemic over and done with. The more we wear mask, I know it's annoying to wear masks, but the sooner we do it, the sooner we get the pandemic done with. Just do it, damn it. Just do it. But anyway, everyone, that's it for now. I am DylanLasagna, and always be delicious. And I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.